every year they make sure we go through a vigorous examination so that we can make sure that, or they can make sure that we're not a liability when we're out there. Physical agility test. So if you constantly working out and you're making sure yourself is good, then more power to you. But we all know I don't go jogging like 12 miles a day. All right, but we definitely need to make sure that we're able to take care of others. Immunization, tuberculosis, right now we have a major pandemic that's going on. That pandemic is
COVID-19.
COVID-19. So anyone received the vaccine? 2? I guess that's what we're going with match, right? That's what we do. I'm worried about it myself. Alright, it does come in 2 parts. But COVID-19 definitely affected us in a huge way. The flu kills a lot of people. We don't pay attention to it, but it kills a lot of people. COVID-19 is like, and it's a truck. It's a truck. And sometimes you can step out of the way of that truck, like most people, but the elderly and already pre-existing health conditions, they're the people that wasn't able to move fast enough. I'm telling you, that thing really hit us hard. It really hit us hard. What's the hazard? Wearing gloves is one of the safest ways that we can protect ourselves. We approach a patient, we see a patient sick, ill, or whatever the case may be, we don't want the same thing that's affecting them to affect us. So we have to take the universal approach. Sure, see, kid is not reading. You want to go help that kid. You want to help that child. Well, one thing you may not realize is the fact that you can help that child or try to help that child, and then whatever's living in that child lives on in you. You may not want that to happen. Who suffers death? Who suffers death? Adult, child, infant? Every single one of them. It's soft. Children die every day. Infants die every day. Adults die every day. You don't want to go on being a hero for that 10 minutes. And now you're affected by that. And a lot of times people's emotions it takes over. You don't want that to happen to you. So make sure you have the proper isolation gear. Your gloves, your mask, whatever you need to do in order to protect yourself. There's times, trust me, I get out my ambulance and they like, he's shot, hurry up, help him. I'm like, I'm putting on these gloves. I got a 5-year-old kid to go home to. I don't know what he was going to get shot, but he got shot. I'm gonna help him when I get there, but I'm putting on my gloves first. And then why would I rush into a situation without observing the situation? Without looking at where you're going? I can go running over there to help this person that got stabbed, and then her baby father, which is out of his mind, what are you doing helping her? I just stabbed her. I want her to die. And then they stabbed you in the back. Recently we had 2 EMS crews on separate occasions get robbed at gunpoint in New York. You guys heard about it?
Yeah.
Who robs the help? No problem. All right. Who robs the help? So you have to look at those type of situations. So when you approach a situation, make sure you put on your gloves. Make sure you observe it. Looking at the situation. One of the last calls that I just had was very basic, very simple. Guy slipped and fell on ice and he hit his head. He called up the stairs to go inside his house and his wife called 911. Very basic, very simple. When we approach that situation, when we approach that scene, what are some of the things that you should be looking for?
Ice.
Exactly. The ice is so smooth, my partner is up there. You understand? And easily you can slip, fall, hurt yourself, anything. Spring, observing the situation. We're calm about it, we're collective. Ebola case. We don't have Ebola crazy, running rampant, but these are the type of situations where when we identify it, we have to take a step back. We have to make sure we're protected. Not to mention, like a lot of people here want to make sure that they don't take things home to their family. That's the main thing. You don't want to go home to your family with it. So make sure we're always looking at how we want to protect ourselves. Craziest type of focus. You go to the simplest type of focus. It could be some guy or woman that's just on their meds. They're not taking their medication like they should. And then you walk in there, say, you're having suicidal thoughts. I thought about jumping off the Verrazano. Maybe I'll jump off the GW. Nah, just take me to the hospital. And that's wrong. And the next thing you know, they turn around and they just spit on you. Alright? So the eyes is one of the easiest ways for us to be affected. So that's why we wear goggles whenever necessary. So make sure you constantly protecting yourself. Constantly. Ways to take off your gloves. Guys, there's one thing that I'm gonna tell you guys that I tell the EMTs that I teach constantly. One of the easiest things you can possibly do, and like it's such a powerful, it's so powerful platform, is YouTube. YouTube. So you can go on YouTube and YouTube how to take off gloves. Alright? When we wear nitrate gloves now, we wear nitrate gloves because the allergies to latex. So now we usually use the nitrate gloves. The nitrate gloves, the way you take it off, I mean, it's a figure here, but you can literally go and YouTube how to do it. All right, you can YouTube how to cook the chicken, or whatever the case is. So everything you can imagine, literally YouTube. Okay, so that is a powerful platform that I cannot express like how much I love about it. So safety. Going to say safety, and what do you have here? 3.6. What do we have? The call. You try, right? That's what we do. So when you approach this scene, there's some things that we have to look at. Is there any objects around that can potentially be used against us? Maybe this guy is going insane because he just found out his wife was cheating on him. Maybe he off his meds. We don't know. We have to be open-minded. And it's so hard in today's society, the way everything is, to be open-minded about someone else's situation. And it can be so screwed up. We have no idea what's going on with him. He could be straight schizophrenic. Out of his mind, insane. And the only thing that's going to help him out is 10 milligrams of midazolam after the cops hold him down. Or maybe he just needs help. Who knows? All right? But the main thing that we need to keep in mind when we approach this situation is what? So, all right? So if you go into a situation that you cannot handle, you're going to take away other resources. So I wasn't running in because I seen whoever inside the burning building. Now the firemen have to look for whoever I went in the burning building for, and they have to look for me. So it's extra resources. When necessary, guys, take that step back, call for additional resources. We are not doctors. We cannot save them all. Alright? Doctors can't even save them all. Alright? So make sure when we go to these type of situations that they're being counted about the situation that we're going into. It is, I cannot stress that enough. Most of the time you guys are gonna save lives, it's gonna be someone that you know. It's gonna be someone that you're interacting with, someone that you love, and if you are in, oh my gosh, my daughter stopped reading, and you totally forget everything that we learned here today, who you help? You're not helping anyone. So we always gotta take that step back. Let's keep that in mind. And trust me, this is so hard to do that. This is so hard to do that. That kid is not reading. And then you're gonna go home and you're gonna beat yourself up about it. Man, I wish I was this, I wish I was that, I wish I was that. Instead of taking that breath and being able to say, can't do it all. Alright? But that one time you save that life, it's gonna be everything to you, trust me. Don't worry about it. Go in there and save your life that you need to save. You really don't have to worry about the crime scene. I do want to talk about with crime scenes is that we usually mess up on is like rape cases. So if she's been raped, they don't open the wall. Like preserve the evidence. Sounds crazy, really gross to even talk about or what's happening, but if they've been in a type of situation, you don't want them to watch. Mainly because of DNA. You want to be able to maintain DNA, keep DNA, preserve your evidence. So you really want to discourage situations like that. About 100 years. I think that's good. I'm being optimistic. Every single one of us in here will be gone in 100 years. What are some of the things that help you deal with that? Cope with that? Say again? God. God, that comes out. Who else?
Family? Family? Like, having a family.
Said family. Family. Being able to comfort each other. Another shoulder to lean on. My father died, I'm telling you, like the only time I cried was by myself. Because I knew it could be strong for others. And it was so hard. It was so hard. But we all have to deal with it. One of the hardest things that I could imagine in my head is being a parent and losing a child.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about 14, 12-year-old. I'm talking about 80 and you lose a 37-year-old or 40-year-old or whatever it is to be. Alright, so we deal with these situations. We have to be open-minded. And I definitely like his answer saying that you deal with God. Whoever your creator is, however you're going to cope with it, you need to be open-minded about it and know that this is something that's going to affect every single one of us. One day or another, it's going to affect us. And it really sucks when we go to calls and we see that this 23-year-old got pushed onto the tracks by someone that just needed help, they schizophrenic or whatever the case may be. 33 years old, stomach cancer. Young, smart, straight A's in school. Straight A's, got scholarships and everything else up the wazoo, and it kills him. Now, it's much harder to deal with those type of things. But what we do need to understand or deal with is death have no respect for the person that you are. And it's gonna affect us all. Sometimes your patient will die. Most times your patient will die. Hell, I'm kidding. Most times they gone when they get to that point. But it's the one or two that you do save, or the one or two that you do affect. That matters the most. Loved ones. Who lost loved ones? Two of things. Who lost loved ones? He's the only one that lost loved ones.
Everybody does.